This method is really interesting.
Do a
I would like to
tutorial.
see
That
tutorial,
tutorial,
please.
please. Give
Yo,
us
Be quick, I need to run you all for lunch.
You all asked for it, so here is the tutorial for the Lau method. If you don't know what the Lau method is, you can check out this video over here. The Lau method consists of 5 steps. Cross -1, IF2L, last cross piece, F2L proper, and finally, last layer. I modified the terminology of this method slightly to avoid confusion. I also created an ALG sheet that you can download. If you want to support my work, like this video and subscribe to my channel. Alright, so the first step of the Lau method is to create a cross, but only with 3 pieces. I expect you to be able to do this step, and if you don't, there are enough cross tutorials on YouTube. You basically just solve the entire right cross, but you don't solve the last piece. There are, however, 2 things to keep in mind. You want to make sure that the cross ends up on the side. So what that basically means is that you want to make sure that the cross has 2 pieces vertically and 1 piece on the sides. So if you hold the cube like this, then this means the cross is on the side. However, this is not on the side because the last cross piece is on the back. So you want to make sure that after you have done your cross -1, that you have 1 edge on the side. And it doesn't matter which side it is, just figure out which one is the easiest and the best for your solve. Another thing you want to keep in mind is that you want to make sure the cross is aligned to the opposite center color. So basically like this, because now these two are opposite, and these two are opposite. In other words, you want to make sure that the cross will be properly aligned by doing a D2 or a small u2. So with these 2 things in mind, there are 2 strategies to make the cross -1. The first strategy is to solve the cross on the side and then use wide U moves to align the cross a D2 away. So here, for example, with orange over here, blue over here, and red over here, we can first insert blue, do a D move, and then insert red. And now we have the cross solved on the side, but it's not yet a D2 away from being aligned. So in this case, we do a small u prime to align it properly, but we do not want that. We want it to be a D2 away, so we do a small u move. As you can see now, we have our cross solved on the side, and our cross is also a D2 away from being aligned properly. Here is another example. So here we have orange over here, green over here, and red over here. So we can solve the cross like this. So orange first, D prime, we can put in green, and then finally put in red. So now we have the cross solved on the side once again. And to make sure that it's a D2 or a small u2 away from being aligned, we can do a small u. The other strategy is to not solve the cross on the sides, but you finish the cross with a D or D prime move to make sure that the cross ends up on the side, and you also make sure that it's a D2 away from being aligned. So here I can choose the red, green, and the blue piece to create my cross -1. So I can first move blue here, insert green, and then solve red and blue like this. So as we can see now, we have a cross made, but it's not yet on the side. So we want to put it either on this side or on this side. So either like this or like this. So which one do we choose? Well, if we choose this side, then the cross will be properly aligned, and that's not what we want. So the solution here is to do a D move to make sure that your cross is a D2 away from being properly aligned. And as you can also see, the cross is now on the side. I prefer the first strategy because it will always work. Because if you build your cross on the side, you can always be sure that you can make it a D2 away from being aligned using small u moves. However, if you make your cross in the front or in the back, you cannot always guarantee that. So for example, if we look at this cross case where the green is already inserted and orange can go together with blue. So we can just do like this. Now as we can see, we have created a cross -1. And it is in the front, so we use the second strategy, which means that we have to use D moves to make it a D2 away from being aligned. So we have to move it either this way or this way. But as we can see, either way will not result in the cross being a D2 away from aligned. So if you get a case like this, you probably will just have to rotate, but generally you want to avoid rotations in this step. So basically, try to always build your cross on the sides, unless you are sure that building the cross on the front will work out. And how do you know whether or not it will work out? If we go back to this example, we can see that orange will end up in the front. And you have to compare the front color with the center color that is facing you. If these colors are the same or the opposite, in this case it is the opposite, then you know the second strategy will not work and you will have to rotate. Here we have the same case again, but instead of red we now have a green center facing us. So now when we insert this orange piece, we can see that these two colors do not match and they are not opposites. And this means that you can use the second strategy. So here we just use a D' move to make sure that the cross is on the side and all of these colors are misaligned with a D2. Alright, so that is basically the first step. The second step is IF2L, which stands for inverted first two layers. And our goal of this step is to solve two edges and two corners. The edges that we'll be solving are either going to be these two or these two. And this depends on where your cross is. My cross is currently on the right side. This means I have to solve the two edges on the left side. If my cross was on the left side, then I will be solving these two edges. And the corners that we're going to solve are going to go in between the cross. So here and here. Let me just go through the cases quickly. So here we have our cross solved on the right side, and let's start with this case. So this case is really straightforward. It's just a 3-move insert. So you move this slot up, you put the piece in, and then you fix everything. Here we have the same case in the back. It needs to go over here. So we lift the side up, we push it in, and then we fix everything. You can also have the cross on the left and do these cases into the right hand side. I will not be showing that in this video, but all the right-handed algorithms are also in the algorithm sheet. The reason why I prefer to do the edges on the left side is because the next step, which is solving the corners, that requires a way better turning and better technique. And since I am right-handed, I prefer to do the harder step with my right hand, and the edges are really straightforward and the algorithms are really easy. So that's why I prefer to do this step with my left hand. Alright, so the next case we have this, and we solve this by doing a small u, put it in, and then fix it. And obviously in the back we have this case. The next case is the edge in the correct place, but misoriented. And now the case in the back. Next up we have this case where this piece needs to go over here. And for the back case. Next up we have this case where this edge needs to go over here. Now the same case, but now in the back. So instead of going here, this piece needs to go over here. Next up we have this case where this piece needs to go over here. Now the same case, but it needs to go into the back. Next up we have this case where it needs to go here. The same case, but it needs to go into the back. Next up we have this case where it needs to go over here. The same case, but now it needs to go into the back. And finally we have this case where it needs to go over here. And finally the same case, but now into the back. In my alg sheet you will find more algorithms for every case, and you will also find algorithms that will preserve the other edge if you have already solved that. So take your time, have some fun learning the algorithms, or even discover your own ones. Now that we have solved the edges, we're going to move on to solving these two corners. So since I have created an orange, blue, and red cross, I will be solving this corner over here, as this one has blue and red, and I will also be solving this corner because it has blue and orange. So for this step we will be using keyhole. So basically what you do is you use this empty slot to insert your corners. So let's start with a simpler example. If we have this edge that needs to go over here, instead of rotating and then inserting like this, what we can do is we can just move the case over here. So we can do a D' move, and then we can insert this over here. And then we can obviously put everything back. The next corner that we have to solve is over here currently. And to solve it over here, it needs to be in the top layer. So what we can do is we can move this corner over here by doing a D2. We can take it out from the D layer into the U layer like this. And then we can put the slot where it needs to go into at the keyhole again over here. And now we can insert this. And this is basically how you solve these two corners. Alright, so here's another example. We have our cross solved on the right side. We have solved these two edges. And now we're going to be solving these two corners. So this one needs to go over here because the red and green, in between the red and green. And this corner needs to go over here in between the green and the orange. So let's start by doing this one. So we put it on top of the keyhole and just solve this normally. Like this. And now to solve this one, we have to first move it into the top layer. So we do a D move, put it in the top layer, and then we move our keyhole over here. And finally, we insert it like this. Once this step is done, you basically have created a 2x2x3 block on the left or on the right side. Now that we have this block, we are finally going to finish our cross. And this step is really straightforward. You basically just insert the last cross piece. So here I have this cross piece, and we can just do an R move. If the white sticker is facing up, so in this position, this position, this position, or this position, or if the white sticker is in this position or this position, you can probably already see it. You can just solve it like this. Or if it's on the top, you move it over here and then just put it in. If the white sticker is not in one of these positions, it is not as straightforward, but still very easy. The first case is where the white sticker is over here, and you basically do a hedge slammer, but with wide F moves. So here, just do this. If it's over here, you can just do a hedge slammer once again, but with normal F moves, and you don't do the last move. Or if you don't like the ergonomics, you can move it over here and just turn it into the first case again. Another way of doing it is to put it over here and treat it as this case. You solve this case by first moving the slot over here and then inserting it over here. And fast, it looks like this. And the same goes for this case where it's in the back. You can just move it over here, or you can move it over here. If it's over here, you can choose to do a R move and turn it into this case again. Same goes for this one. And if it's on the bottom, you can obviously do an R2 and get this case again. But I prefer to do a sledgehammer, but with wide F moves. So like this. And then in this position, you can see my index fingers over here. We can do an R2 like this. And fast, it looks like this. The algorithms for this step are also in the algorithm sheet I provided. The final two steps in the Lau method are F2L proper and last layer. F2L proper is just regular CFOP F2L, and you solve the last two remaining slots. So here I can solve this pair at first, like this, and then I solve this one. This is also the only step in the method where you have to rotate. So here, for example, I can solve this pair like this, and for this pair I will have to rotate. If you want to learn F2L for this step or for CFOP, I recommend you check out this video over here, as it is the best beginner F2L tutorial on YouTube. And finally, we have the last layer, which can be done using OLL and PLL. I have a very good PLL video that you can check out over here, and I also have an algorithm sheet for PLL algorithms. And obviously, you can use any other way to solve the last layer. Alright, so here's an example solve. You can use this scramble to follow along. Okay, so for my cross, I'm going to be doing the green, blue, and orange cross. So I'll be putting in the green edge first, like this. I'm going to do a D prime, so that I can put in the blue and also do the orange. And I'm using the second strategy, and I can see that the orange will end up over here, and this color is green, and green is not the opposite of orange, and they are also not the same color. So I will know that the second strategy is safe to use. So now I can just do this, and I can see that I can use a D prime move to create the cross on the left, and the colors are D2 away from being aligned. Next up, I will be solving these two edges. I can see that this one can be solved using an R move, and the other one is over here. So we can use this algorithm. Next up, we will solve these two corners. I can see this corner over here, so we can move it over here and do keyhole. Next up, we have this corner, so we move it over here, take it out to the top layer, move the slot here, and finally insert it. We can do a D move to create our block on the right side. Our last cross piece is over here, so I would do a D move and insert it over here. And finally, for F2L proper, I'm going to rotate and solve this case first. And finally, this pair. OLL and PLL. And that is how you solve a 3x3 using the Lau method. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to my channel to support me. If you want to buy some cubes, use the link in my description to see my recommendations and get a 5% discount. Let me know down in the comments what you think about this method. Share this video with your friends, and I'll catch you in the next one.